A sticky tragedy, a corporate failure, a moment when sweetness turned deadly. Let's rewind to January 15, 1919. It's just after noon in Boston's North End. The air is unusually warm for winter, nearly 40 degrees. Children are playing, dock workers are on break, horses clop along the cobblestones. And then, without warning, the ground shakes. Some say it sounded like a train derailment, others like machine gun fire. But it wasn't a bomb or a quake. It was molasses. A massive storage tank, 50 feet tall, 90 feet wide, had ruptured. It held over 2 million gallons of industrial molasses used to make ethanol for munitions and rum. The tank had been built quickly during World War I with little oversight and even less engineering rigor. It leaked from the start. Locals joked about collecting molasses from its seams, but no one expected what came next. The tank exploded, and what followed wasn't a spill, it was a wave. A 15-foot-high wall of molasses surged through the streets at an estimated 35 miles per hour. That's faster than most people can run. It flattened buildings. It snapped steel girders. It tossed freight cars like toys. Horses were swept away. People were trapped, suffocated, and drowned. 21 people died. Over 150 were injured. The molasses was so thick it slowed rescue efforts. It clogged lungs. It coated everything. Firefighters, police, and volunteers worked for days to recover bodies. Cleanup took months. And the smell? It lingered for decades. Some say you can still catch a whiff on hot days. But this wasn't just a freak accident. It was a failure of responsibility. The United States Industrial Alcohol Company had ignored warnings. The tank was never properly tested. It was built with thin steel and poor rivets. When the company was sued, the court ruled against them, citing negligence and lack of oversight. It was one of the first major cases to hold a corporation accountable for public safety. And here's where the myth-busting comes in. People laugh when they hear about the molasses flood. It sounds absurd, like something out of a cartoon. But it was deadly serious. The victims weren't just swept away. They were crushed, suffocated, and buried in syrup. The flood was real. The pain was real. And the lessons? They're still relevant. This disaster exposed the cost of cutting corners. It showed what happens when industry moves faster than regulation. And it revealed how even something as benign as molasses can become lethal when mishandled. It also taught us about fluid dynamics. Engineers studied the flood to understand how viscous liquids behave under pressure. Turns out molasses can act like water when it's moving fast enough. But once it slows down, it becomes a trap. That insight helped shape modern safety standards. Today, the site is quiet. There's a park, a plaque, and a story that sticks, literally and figuratively. Thanks for watching. Stay curious.